Wow, it looks like we're starting off with a reference right away. If the vampires had a tortured wrestling match. Well, that title is a reference to, well, Alpha Brusa's previous series, If the Emperor Had a Text-to-Speech Device. I do like how they have wrestling ropes here, like this is pretty metaphorical, seeing as, well, I don't think anyone would want to be in an arena setting with vampires with only ropes separating you from them. Especially if the vampires don't want to be there. You probably get eaten. Oh, I don't choose to be immoral, it's just what I am. Is that boy's perspective on this? Or, well, saying immoral instead of immortal or moral? I don't know. Maybe it's Piotr. Oh, right. Intro thing. Yeah, I'm Scara Bray, I'm a writer, I'm doing this series where I'm analyzing the writing of Hunter the Parenting. I know that. Yeah. Oh, and if there are any other web series you want me to analyze the writing of, just let me know. So far, I have Epic the Musical in mind, but with the influx of new subscribers, I'm not quite sure it's what they want. Wonder if those noises are what the vampires... Well, actually, yeah, I think Shipbeard screaming is probably the first noise Kevin heard last episode.
Don't make me say it.
Screams are loud, do not do them. Very literal note that Door probably wrote.
What is wrong with you?
Boy, oh, the boyest of boys! Please, I beg you, let us begin.
What war crimes are on the docket tonight?
Mustard gas.
Mustard comes in gas?
Funny thing is, I don't think mustard gas would... Well, I mean, it irritate their eyes, but from what I know of it, it mostly affects the lungs, and vampires don't use those.
Why don't you open up a can and look inside, you little fucking wretch?
Yeah, Piotr's not exactly happy to be here.
Do not ruin my son's first interrogation, blank.
Oi,
Oi.
I know I'm not the only one here
Yeah?
that has watched
Yeah?
Interview with the Vampire.
You make this joke every time.
Like how Marcus's words here are affectionate.
It is a clever and funny reference.
Stab me!
No.
Okay, I think that actually is some subtle characterization for 8. He didn't want to be left out of the stabbing, even if it's a bad thing, because, well, we'll find out later on, but he's a shovelhead.
You fuckers! You don't know what it's like!
Oh, here we go.
Oh, actually...
You don't know what it's like!
Oh, here we go.
Oh, a bit of foreshadowing here, I think.
Pissy fuckers will never know what it's like! You go out of the sun and buy cream crackers, your Weetabix, and your fucking cream crackers!
Yeah, Shipbeard really hates being a vampire. Probably more than any of the rest of them, except maybe Kevin. I don't think he joined the Sabbat willingly, in simple terms. Either that or no other faction. I'm pretty sure he was forced, either that or no other faction really vampires want him or something. Don't know his exact circumstances, but the Sabbat is an absolutely horrible fit for him, and he isn't even hiding it.
You finish college and shit in a cramped little toilet and play Snake on your phone!
Gotta admit, bruv, not very relatable.
Fuck you, toilet shitter! Your mundanity is something we will never have again! We are persecuted by your refusal to yield to your letters!
Yeah, though... Yes, like, he seems to have at least somewhat gone with Sabbat ideology, but... Or maybe he's just saying that because he's part of them.
And when we deny our natures, Caine's own principles of universalizability are shattered!
That's some more characterization for Shipbeard there. He doesn't... Like, he says that complicated universability word... which is something you wouldn't quite expect of a vampire about him. And also he mentions the college thing earlier, which seems like it would be important to him, considering how college is a very specific thing.
I'm sorry, Caine's what?
Anyway, the point is we cannot eat cream crackers
Cream crackers seem important to him, too.
anymore.
Do not speak of cream crackers as some halcyon dream. Boy is on an all-meat diet and has never been stronger.
I keep getting the meat sweats.
Not now, sir.
Yeah, like, there is such a thing as a carnivore diet, but that isn't quite the same thing as Door's all-meat diet. Probably not the best for Boy, but maybe he's built different, like Marcus said, DR.
I'm speaking to the monsters.
Monster? Oh, I'll show you a fucking monster.
You are pathetic. Blank bodies are parasites. You kill people and you eat them.
To be fair, this is kind of this is slightly contradictory to the nature of most parasites. There are some parasites that do kill their host eventually, but most want to leave their host alive for as long as possible, because if the host dies, so does the parasite. Which, honestly, is probably one of the reasons why most vampires just don't randomly eat people. Like, or at least don't try to avoid killing people, aside from the fact that that leaves bodies, and a body with 2 holes in its neck is going to draw a lot of attention and endanger the Masquerade. Aside from that, I think if we want to keep vampires' core nature as parasites in fiction, they actually should try to avoid killing people and drinking them, and probably more like leech off them. Yeah.
To allow you to persist is to abet genocide.
Not according to the definition of genocide. I mean, would it make sense for vampires to wipe out humans? No, because, well, if the humans are all dead, the vampires are, so...
Abet genocide? You are genociding us right now!
Your life has already ended, Tick. I can't kill a corpse.
Yeah, Door really hates vampires. I'll get into that later in the episode, but I have some theories as to why he does, aside from just having a lot of experience with them, since vampires are, as a general rule, evil.
Holy fucking shit, fellas! Wouldn't this guy make such a good Ventru? Kindred do not live, we unlive. Ooh, we do not do things all day, we do things all night. We do not X, we vampire word.
Hold on. What is a Ventru?
Oh, whoopsie. Now I've platformed.
Yeah, like a bit of a callback to a previous episode, but also it should show you the hypocrisy of the Sabbat. The Sabbat claim that clans are just an antediluvian concept and don't matter, but the Sabbat the Zamisi and the Sombra are the leadership classes of the Sabbat, with I think the Zamisi being their priests and the Sombra more being their secular leader. And now here's Piotr, who really embodies the Sabbat lifestyle, essentially making fun of the Ventru by comparing them to Door. So, the clans are a real thing, and the Sabbat acknowledge them as such, they just pretend not to.
The antediluvian concept of
Oh,
clans.
good job! Good!
Oh, nice clapping from Ape down there, didn't even notice that before.
Who cares? The clans in the Masquerade can burn, along with all the other Camarilla Anarch bullshit.
Camarilla Anna.
The Masquerade.
Carmilla, the first vampire.
Yeah, like, that's a reference to, well, the book Carmilla, which is one of the first vampire literature pieces. And I've heard it's claimed to be actually, you know what, why don't I look it up? Okay, let's see, first vampire literature. Okay, let's see, I'm getting a few different ones. Earliest one, 1918. Carmilla was written in 1872. So Carmilla was not the first vampire novel. It seems that that's a novel literally called The Vampire, written by, it looks like, Lord Byron. Still, Carmilla is one of the first really famous fictional vampires, so I think that's where the first vampire thing comes from, as well as Door's misunderstanding. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if in one of their hunts, Door heard the term Amarilla and mistook it for Carmilla.
My God, Piotr!
I'm sorry, sweetheart. Are you afraid of a little masquerade breach?
Actually, that's another way that Shitbeard does not fit in with the Sabbat. Piotr and Kevin, well, particularly Kevin, don't seem to care about the masquerade, but Shitbeard seems to at least a little bit.
Well, take the prince's pussy out of your mouth and start acting like Cainites, goddammit! These fuckers, you fuckers, wouldn't even be alive if we took over.
Piotr!
We could.
Peter! We don't got the resources yet to
You
make
drinking cami piss lick? We're the goddamn Sabbat, the Sword of Caine.
Yeah, a bit of the reason why, well, we'll see later, but this is building up why Piotr and Shitbeard don't quite like each other, rather why Piotr doesn't like Shitbeard. Shitbeard, even as a vampire, is a far more decent person than most of his compatriots, if not all of them. He's actually trying to be honest about their capabilities. Whereas Piotr is being more manipulative here.
And Ape, what does the Sword of Caine do?
It falls where it pleases.
Amen.
Yeah, Piotr putting up with Ape's LARPing, but, not quite fully. Well, you'll see, but he's basically only putting up with Ape's LARPing because it works for him right now.
Camarilla, Anarch, Sabbat. Noted. Camarilla is spelt like gorilla, right?
Yes.
Okay, these are essentially political parties, I assume.
Okay, does this description fit then? Now, Kitten's obviously working outside of the normal vampire stuff, but I wouldn't really call them political parties with my knowledge. So, from what I understand of Vampire the Masquerade, the Camarilla, Anarchs, and Sabbat are essentially different vampire nations rather than political parties. Say nations because, like, the Sabbat is at war with the other two constantly, and while the Camarilla and Anarchs, from what I understand, sometimes are at pretending to be peace with each other, they don't do that with the Sabbat. So, if those two, and the Camarilla and Anarchs hold down their different territories, in a way that's more like a country controlling land than a political party controlling votes. So yeah, I think nations is probably a better term for them than political parties, but, well, I mean, you can't blame Kitten for not understanding, considering how this is the first time he's heard those words.
The first one's free, sweet pea. What are you gonna give
Yeah, Piotr's still flirting because he mistook Kitten for
me
liking
for
him.
the rest?
We already know about Camilla, the first vampire. I always suspected she lived in Norwich.
More of Door's anti-British stuff?
First vampire. You mean the prince?
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure Door thinks Carmilla is Caine. That being said, Piotr misunderstood it by him saying the first is in foremost, the one who's at the top, highest ranking vampire. So, and come to think of it, maybe the prince is actually named Carmilla, either literally being called that from birth or having taken that name upon becoming a vampire. I know that Dracula exists in World of Darkness, but I'm not sure about Carmilla. But maybe she... Actually, you know what? Fuck it, I can look it up. Okay. Let's see, okay, there is Carmilla. Oh, wait, no, that's Deva, that's Vampire the Requiem. Yeah, that's Vampire the Requiem. Okay, Carmilla, no, wait, that's Camarilla. Okay, looks like Carmilla isn't a thing in Vampire the Masquerade. So, Carmilla was not based on a real person. I think there's some speculation that she might have been based on Elizabeth Bathory, while Dracula, his name and reputation are based on Vlad Tepes, even though in the book he doesn't quite resemble him. So, I think that Vlad and Carmilla Yeah, so it makes sense that they'd have Vlad as a continuation of Bad Dracula, but not quite Carmilla there. So it could be, though, that the prince just decided to take that name, or maybe Piotr's like, okay, they clearly don't know her name, but they at least know about the prince.
She is a sterling example of degeneracy. She and her posse sitting in their ivory tower in Norwich.
I wonder if Apes actually met Carmilla to see the degeneracy, or he just heard of it from the other Sabbat. Considering how he's, like, a shovelhead, and Carmilla is the local Camarilla leader, I doubt they've met, or if they did, she didn't know he was in the Sabbat. Otherwise, Ape would probably be dead.
Forcing Cainites to stay hidden. They call it the Masquerade. I call it censorship.
Preventing murder is censorship now.
So, I find it interesting that Door's first thought about hearing that a vampire is forcing other vampires to stay hidden is that this is preventing murder, especially considering how much he does not like vampires. That being said, it could be that Door is thinking of them as the parasite that doesn't want to kill its host. And that Carmilla is doing this not out, like, is trying to prevent murder, not out of any morality, but for practical reasons.
Prevent murder. As if they could.
No, as if they would. The Camarilla's all about murder. Murder Caine, murder Kindred.
Caine?
Are you dense? Caine means you guys.
An archaic word for cattle, which should tell you what most vampires think about people.
Humans, mortals.
No, animals.
And while you're
Yeah, the Sabbat are particularly bad about it, but most vampires just view humans as food, or at least a lot of them do.
time with us, the Cammies are playing you like good little puppets.
An interesting point, like, the Camarilla, from what I understand of World of Darkness lore, while they might go after vampire hunters sometimes, a lot of the time they prefer to direct the vampire hunters at their various vampire enemies. An effective way of killing them, or at least a way that potentially leaves them from getting implicated.
Come again?
That's just a common tactic of
Yep.
theirs. See, we Sabbat believe in liberty and revolution.
For vampires.
Cainites. That's right. But the
Asterisk.
Camarilla, they believe in slavery and serfdom for our kind.
So says the faction that uses shovelheads. Shovelheads are basically vampires who are literal slaves. People who are hit over the head with a shovel and then used as shock troops. The few that they're hit over the head with a shovel, turned into a vampire, then used as shock troop suicide squads. And the shovelheads that survive, like Ape, have basically a very hard time getting any semblance of respect or status within the Sabbat. The shovelheads are essentially slaves, with the Sabbat above them being, with the shovelheads who become Sabbat being freed slaves, but not true Sabbat or true vampires, which I suppose is the Sabbat's excuse for it if they even have one.
And what about our...
Funny thing is, shovelheads, at least in Vampire the Requiem 2E, 1E to an extent too, I think, but not as much, are basically impossible, because vampires spend a point of humanity every time they turn someone in Vampire the Requiem. So, you could make a bunch of shovelheads, but you'll probably end up as a mindless monster by the time they're all embraced.
Your kind are just livestock. That's it. That's just the way of things. No matter what you do, mortals are just meat. The only way out is...
Oh, got another detail. Piotr's eyes haven't regenerated back yet. Probably same reason that Kevin's
The
had.
embrace.
Didn't.
So, if you want liberty, well, we can give it to you.
So, you're saying you will exchange freedom for freedom?
It's either us
Freedom, peace, security, and free sand for my new empire.
or them. We are the children of Caine, and our manifest destiny is to rule. Praise the Dark Father.
Intriguing. So, why haven't you been murdered yet?
Because the Sabbat doesn't fuck around.
Because you're living in a forest where, well, in some tunnels under a forest where the Camarilla probably aren't looking.
We're on a warpath, and our cause? To see you lowly, juicy apes serve your natural purpose.
So you're just here to kill?
No, you fucking snail rats, you're wrong as hell!
Oh, so now you go a pair shitbeard.
Another insult, but once again, actually it's called foreshadowing for the gag. That Shitbeard and, well, Piotr don't get along, building it up.
We're smarter than that! I went to college, son!
That why you were...
Yep, this college thing has now come up again, well, showing Shitbeard's characterization as someone who does care about education, especially when he was a human.
hanging out in that tunnel, murdering joggers in the dead of night. What major is that again?
Political science. We conquered that tunnel, purged it of Anarch filth. It's our turf now, this whole district.
I'd call it less political science and more the sort of strategy and tactics they teach at a military school. Well, military academy.
The District of Norfolk.
It is the new theater for the glorious crusade. A domain to bleed.
I wonder how much of the Ape's rambling here and pauses are him being overly dramatic on purpose, and how much of it are his brain damage.
Out as we please.
Hey, boy, your brain's a drain pipe! Plug it! The Anarch Barony ain't moved an inch since we were chased in here by the cammies. Our bases still need building up!
Oh yeah, man. Really selling us right now with the base building.
To be fair, if Dora didn't hate vampires so much, he probably would appreciate that.
Fuck you, Piotr! The categorical imperative...
Yeah, showing once again, the categorical imperative is a Kantist piece of philosophy. I don't particularly like Kant, but the fact that Shitbeard shows this shows, well, once again, his college education, that he probably took a few courses in philosophy. And yeah, like, he's quite a bit smarter than he seems based on first appearance.
compels me to tell you the whole truth about
Kant
why...
is not a Nodist philosopher.
And Ape-Boy objecting, because if I remember right, Nodism is basically a sort of vampire religion philosophy. So Ape doesn't really like that Shitbeard's quoting a philosopher who isn't approved of by the Sabbat.
Wait, boy. One must act in accordance with that maxim that through which you can will that it become a universal law. Following the
So, not to disrupt the discourse, but you're at war with this anarchy barony over...
Yeah, and a barony is a unit of organization present in feudal governments. Although Shitbeard mistakes the... not Shitbeard. Kitten mistakes the Anarch Barony for an Anarchy Barony. I mean, the fact that the Anarchs have barons should show their hypocrisy. What is an Anarch Baron, you ask? Well, it's the Anarch equivalent to a Camarilla Prince. What's the difference? Well, effectively, the difference is that Anarchs call them barons, and the Camarilla calls them princes. And also that there's less oversight for Anarch barons than there is for Camarilla princes. I'm sure people who know the lore better than me can tell a few more differences, but they're pretty minor, considering how really the Anarchists are basically the Camarilla, except more freedom for vampires. Aside from that, they aren't really that different.
The District of Norfolk.
On the small scale, that and Great Yarmouth.
Oh, I fucking hate Yarmouth.
I get it. It's
Yeah, and God, I do like how Piotr was like, Great Yarmouth, saying it as if he was embarrassed.
pretty sad.
So I think that that really agrees with Kitten that it's a bit
Tell you
sad.
this much. The Anarchs, you know, they have the spirit. They have their ideals.
But they lack purpose. They restrain themselves just as the Camarilla.
Piotr, he's doing it again.
They refuse to unleash their beast. They want their petty revolution, but for what? To continue hiding.
Yeah, now that it doesn't benefit him as much, Piotr seems a bit frustrated, though with 8, though Shitbeard is the main one yelling at him.
Oh, proud Cainite, dost thou hear the call? Purge your degenerate humanity and live
As your forefathers do.
Okay, dude, turn down the LARPing.
Yeah, Piotr finally having enough of it, despite taking advantage of it
I have so
earlier.
much more to
You're
say.
barely in the Sabbat, ape. You haven't even partaken in the Voldery.
Yeah, which would kind of explain why they're both so harsh to him, even if they are harsh to each other. Because, like, Ape hasn't taken in the thing that, Kevin mentioned last episode.
So stop angling for Pack Priest and stay in your fucking lane.
It is very embarrassing.
Yeah.
Weaklings.
Yeah.
I'm the strongest here. Purge.
Hey,
Strongest, arguably,
speaking of,
maybe, I don't know.
where is Kevin, the wizard
Using their terminology at this point.
type?
He is having a special interview with our father. Nothing you need to worry about.
Kevin gets to fuck now.
Why the fuck was that Piotr's first thing? First assumption. I know I've seen it before, but I find it hilarious that Piotr's first assumption is that when he has considering how D has multiple children, Piotr has no reason to think D is gay, that D himself is bi, but, considering the population statistics, the first assumption would more reasonably be that it's just another interview. But still, Piotr assumes this, which honestly probably says a few things about himself. Not sure what, but probably says something. And of course, none of them want to think of that.
Okay, I get it. That's good, actually. Wouldn't want to engage in any zoophilia out here.
Yeah.
Okay, right, so, as has been made abundantly clear, you are basically vampire supremacists.
We are Cainite naturalists. And listen, I like you. All of you. Fair's fair. You did kick our asses.
Yeah, and I do think that Piotr's being a bit genuine here, because not last episode, but you get what I mean. When Kitten defeated him, he basically just said, alright, you got me. Yeah, I do think that Piotr's respect for them is genuine, even if he is a monster.
So, I want to extend the offer. Why don't you join us?
Ironic how that parallels Big D and Kevin, where Kevin asked Big D to join him, being impressed enough with that, and later on Kevin did join Big D. Only in this case, I don't think anyone of this group, the hunters here, wouldn't ask any of those vampires to join them. Especially not Dor, and none of them are gonna accept Piotr's offer.
Immortality is pretty tempting.
Marcus.
Come on. The old man would never expect it. Not that he can't join as well.
Wouldn't that be funny?
You know, it'd be pretty funny if Piotr asked Big D to join them, and he was like, immortality? I already have that!
I'm being serious. Immortality, supremacy, a new family.
Considering how much Sabbat have in thought, I don't think they're selling them on the new family point, or really could sell anyone
What'd
on
you
it.
say? Are you in? Or are you out?
Well,
Oh, you can see Dor shaking with rage here. Then his eyes are angled at Marcus. He's a bit mad that Marcus is even trying to consider the offer, but, obviously Marcus refuses, but I think that Dor, when Marcus refused, realized that Marcus was just fucking with them. That being said, I am going to call this foreshadowing, because D is worried that Marcus would be tempted by vampire
is
blood.
tempting. You know what's more tempting, though? Having everything we do from here on out being morally justified.
Yes, exactly! Liberate yourself, brother!
Because
Yes.
we'll be doing it against a bunch of vampire fascists.
Yes!
And that's how you know that you fucked up. even if you're talking to an actual bunch of fascists and they call you fascists, they're probably still not going to join you, considering how if they're actual fascists, they're probably more supremacists for their own group rather than vampires.
The Sabbat. Oh, okay.
Fuck!
Yeah.
It didn't work, Yoda!
I'm so hungry.
Oh, there we go!
Hey, you do know what happens if we don't eat our fill, right?
Tell me,
The beast shall come out now.
that what you're calling yourself,
The
Sideburns?
beast will come out.
The beast.
Yeah, referring to frenzy in this case, I think. I'm pretty sure that if a vampire doesn't have enough blood, they'll be susceptible to going into a frenzy to get more. I don't know the full effects of the frenzy in Vampire the Masquerade. I know that in Vampire the Requiem it gives them a bonus to physical rolls based around, well, their blood potency, which might be enough for some of them to break out of those bars, but not sure about it in Vampire the Masquerade.
I'll need to crunch your neckies open and from them.
Neckies?
The beast's birthright is your blood, and it will have it, for its will is mightier than any of the shitty metal boxes you put us in.
So is this guy just like a parody of
It's probably the brain damage, Marcus.
himself, or wait? Just got an idea. Hey, you will get fed. Just a second.
What?
Yeah, Shitbeard doesn't quite believe them, and to be fair, I wouldn't expect to be fed either if I was a vampire imprisoned by a bunch of vampire hunters.
Better be good.
Everyone, let's get out of here.
Why?
Come and see.
Okay, alright.
Come, boy.
We step it out from the cellar?
Yes.
Leaving these here.
Yes.
What if they break out?
We'll drink your hide dry as you sleep.
They will not. I've fortified this room. This cellar door can withstand a force of 18,000 pounds per square inch.
Calculation door got a bit wrong there, but in any case, I don't think this is foreshadowing, it's more establishment of just how powerful the cellar door is, how much damage it can withstand for an oh shit moment later down the line. Is that foreshadowing? Nah, I'd say it's more like Chekhov's
The
gun.
blank will make its way out.
Okay, yeah, I understand all of that and feel very safe now.
And also, this is part of why I'm pretty sure D does not have Black Shuck captured. After all, this door can't even hold Diablerus Piotr. It probably, there's no way it could hold even, say, Matilda, much less a werewolf like Elder Black Shuck, who is probably far more powerful than Matilda. Hell, I doubt it could even hold Jambles. And I'll go into that later when we get to the werewolves, the various power levels I think they're at.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. Big D has many ex-wives and ex-husband and ex-children. Dor and Marcus are but two among many, but D's vocally affirmed favorite child is a horse named Horse. I'm going to call this foreshadowing. Also, snails and neat. Okay, Kitten often serves as a stabilizing influence to Boy. However, when they first met, Boy was sick with puberty disease, attacking violently with big stones. Boy was later cured with meat, and now Kitten and Boy play deathmatch together every Wednesday. I think they put that in Boy's dialogue, and one thing I'd like to note is that people mistook this... oh yeah, when this was first came out, TV Tropes mistook this for basically saying that Boy is adopted, like in TTS. Alpha Busa had to confirm that Boy is Dor's biological child in order for TV Tropes to change it. That being said, yeah, I can see where they got that impression, but also it's pretty clear that this isn't saying that he's adopted, at least to me, just that this was when Dor and Boy first met, Kitten and Boy had first met, which was probably a few years ago, considering when Dee's family came to England. And they had to meet at first point sometime. That being said, there was they had to meet at a first point sometime, and it would be at, well, an older age, unless Kitten was right there when Boy was a baby or was born. This basically just gives us some time that Boy was probably 8, 9, or 10 when the D family first came to England again, or rather returned to England, since Marcus lived there before, and met Kitten, joined the Arcanum, etc. Lots of rocks.
Come upstairs, we're going to the office.
Oh boy, Hooters.
Establishing computers right away.
Sick video gamer rig, bro.
Also, one of the things that I'd like to note is that he has a treadmill there, which indicates that Marcus is exercising even when he's gaming. Which is pretty good characterization because he's a vampire hunter. He does need to take his whole jogging and physical fitness seriously, because it could save his life, so one thing establishes that he does take this seriously.
Well, yeah.
Spent a lot of money on this instead of, a gun.
TF2 is coming out next year. I am justified.
Good point, especially since he could probably just get a gun from Big D, who has several illegal firearms, as he said last episode.
Now, the quality isn't great, but we
No, wait, episode before last.
can see and hear everything going on down there. Okay, so here's my idea. Let's have them eat each other.
Yeah. Terrible idea.
Literally?
Yes, literally! We have no clue what happens if a vampire eats another vampire, and I want to find out. Oh, here comes the moral stipulations. Look, feeding doesn't necessarily mean killing.
I mean, we are stepping over boundaries just bringing them into our house.
Good point.
Or should I say my house? I own it.
Another good point.
What, the boundary set by the fucking Arcanum? I don't feel like following their tenets after being banned.
Another good point, though I don't know for sure if that's what Kitten was talking about 100%, but yeah, if an organization bans you, I don't really see why you need to, follow their tenets anymore unless you're under some sort of contract that says you have to, even if not. And it's not like the D family cares about contracts.
You know what? Let's take this later.
Or unless there's some, law saying that you have to. Really depends on the organization, but in the Arcanum's case, I think it's more like being banished from England and forced to live in Spain, and then going, oh, this thing is illegal in England, but not legal in Spain, or... I don't know what I'm talking about. I think I might just be recording this a bit too late.
It's gonna start arguing about the...
Oh, though, I am going to say foreshadowing. Because they mentioned the Arcanum.
royal family again, I can feel
No
it.
talk of British royalty in front of Boy. Boy, sing our national anthem.
We're all living in America.
Okay, can we...
Okay, so this is more proof that Dor isn't actually American, or at least he wasn't born in America. Because speaking as someone who lives in America, the national anthem is quite often everywhere. Not universally, but it's shown in a lot of stuff, in schools, in TV shows, at major sporting events, and in certain museums as well. The only way you could grow up as an American and not know at the very least the start of the national anthem, oh say can you see, not that difficult to remember, is if you're some kind of crazy hobo who lives out of a bus and doesn't have a formal education.
Begin the experiment now?
Make them eat the Lapa first. He's the worst.
Bit of foreshadowing with Kitten here, or at least setup.
Right, so...
I'll count it as foreshadowing for the joke.
Microphone.
Good news! You're getting fit! Go Buckwild! Are you fucking serious?
Yeah, Shitbeard, bit shocked and outraged, and oh yeah, I like that the wounds are still there.
It's the science! Besides, while Valeria over there seems willing to take one for the team.
Heh, Marcus volunteering 8 because, well, his boyfriend said that he want 8 to die first.
Volunteering me for black bag duty, degenerate.
That's really kind of
D.
your call.
Forget it. The Sabbat.
And notice here how Shitbeard isn't even considering turning on his own, whereas, well, you'll see, like, both Abe and Piotr do, though you'll see how.
Never turn on their own just to slake their own hunger and sneak attack.
Oh, you fucking rat!
Piotr, help me hold him down and
You shitty little
Monomachy it is.
Okay, so, now, a comment in the last episode pointed out that, or the last of my episodes on this, point out that the Camarilla does have a legalized instance of diablerie, that being it being allowed in blood hunts, which would give a pretty good incentive, and I'll show the comment on screen here, but anyway, it could give a pretty good incentive to hunt down Kevin, considering how he has pretty good generation. But, like, that's basically the only instance in which the Camarilla, as at least of the recording this I know of, are in favor of diablerie. Monomachy is a Sabbat ritual that's basically a duel to the death, with the winner typically diablerizing the loser. And, well, I mean, Piotr as the head of the pack is probably in a position to declare Monomachy. And I would like to note that Piotr here actually respects the duel. Like, I'll point out how. First off, while this is partly him being an opportunist, he does disappear here and let the others fight.
Hey, go! This is a hardcore three-way elimination match where 3 vamps enter and only 1 may leave.
That is right, Mark. We've got a...
Marcus and Dor showing a bit more of their consideration that they at least both know of professional wrestling and enjoy it. And also, I am well aware of the hilarity that a Gangrel is competing in a vampire wrestling match, considering there was a WWE wrestler licensed from VDM of the
Hell of a
same
show
name.
for you all,
basically.
and we're right here in the action. We see some offers coming from the biker guy.
Now, yeah. Now, this could be that, well, they both seem to have something. Okay, so anyway, Shitbeard should have an advantage due to the fact that he is of lower generation and is clearly bigger and stronger than Ape here.
He's looking
But it's not necessarily like those are decisive factors to combat 100%. They can be, but not necessarily, as this will demonstrate. Yeah, Shitbeard manages to... Sorry, Shitbeard takes a blow probably from Ape putting claws in him. So, yeah, turning his fingernails into claws. Now choking him. Which...
Savage is wrong.
Yeah, probably the choke was probably more a maneuver to get him into a position to claw him more, considering how chokes don't do much to vampires. They don't breathe, remember?
And I love it!
It's clear that there is some bad blood here.
Look at how he's just going to town
Yeah,
on
like lots
it.
of clawing.
Down to go to, Marcus. But
Door being overly literal.
is this
you dirtbag!
a reversal?
Yeah, and now we see Shitbeard here. I think he's trying to mostly crush Ape's skull. Because, like I said, this would be good for a chokehold, but those wouldn't do much to vampires.
It's Biker Bro! He's got him in a chokehold!
Yeah, so his main intention, I think, is to crush his skull. Oh, I was right.
It's desperate times here for Larry! Will the sludge lad break the pin?
And no, he's not. Piotr isn't breaking the pin or doing anything to stop it, in part because he's an opportunistic coward, but he is respecting the Monomachy.
Hey, is he still hiding?
You can't see him. Could his time be now?
That was a very funny reference, boy.
Thank you. Say, do you think this is a solid warning of what happens when one embraces their monster and loses their soul?
Yes.
No.
Boys, would you look at this? Lapa Larry is retaliating and... Oh, he's doing it! He breaks the whole...
Yeah, manages to win, in this case, through actually superior skill, despite likely at least being not as strong, though he could be faster. Yeah.
Reverses it. Is this some kind of hold?
No, it's DDT!
And yep.
It's an impaler DDT!
Probably a reference to Vlad, and if I remember right, it was Gangrel's signature, or at least a move he introduced.
Courage down.
banging and banging.
Oh, I hate
Mimicking Gangrel more.
Believe the larper went over.
1, 2, 3. Marcus, I'm not sure that biker will ever ride again.
Me neither.
To be fair, I doubt he had a motorcycle in those tunnels.
Door.
Unless I'm forgetting something.
Look, in a shocking turn, the larper's calling Slime Boy out.
Piotr, you treasonous dog! Face your death like a true Sabbat.
Now, notice how Piotr didn't attack Ape right as he was winning the fight or right after, despite it being arguably a perfect time to do it. And notice as well that Ape is now the one challenging Piotr. All this time, Piotr has respected the Monomachy. In a way, he embodies Sabbat.
I always liked your spirit.
Piotr's kind of being truthful here.
I bet it'll taste great.
Yup, and here Piotr lets Ape do this first before, countering and doing this. And also, this is why I think he at least has 1 point in his strength discipline, because you can't do something like this with human levels of strength.
Lord in heaven.
This? You're right. We'll go slower.
Yeah, and now it's time for Piotr to demonstrate. Well, okay, so this is something that's about to be called raising the stakes. Basically, as the story progresses, you want to raise the stakes, at least through each individual arc. It depends on how much it's structured, whether you want to raise the overall stakes through each individual arc, or a mixture of both. But here, raising the stakes is basically making it so that things are bigger, they're more dangerous, they matter more, just increasing the audience's investment in the situation, as well as the characters, either fear or something else. And this form of raising the stakes is going to be, well, demonstrating just how much of a monster Piotr really is. Even by vampire standards, he's evil.
Hey, kid, shh, don't worry. I was just putting on a show. After all, we're family.
First, Piotr pretends to comfort Ape, even basically trying to trick him into thinking that Piotr was actually trying to fool the hunters, when in reality this is just sadism on Piotr's part.
You mean it?
Do I mean it? Come on. What do you think?
Oh, what do you think? This is not gonna go well. Starting off slow, but gradually getting more intense. First punches could even be mistaken for being playful, but now he's just ratcheting it up for no real reason. There's no purpose to this. He's just enjoying himself. Especially since he kinda likes Ape. He's still doing this. Even most vampires, if they wanted to kill and diablerize someone, they at least make it as quick as they could. Piotr, he's enjoying himself.
That's... not
Really?
legal.
Marcus, this is barbaric.
Yeah, Kitten raises a good point, but, well, bit late now.
You're right. Slime Lad is beating the larper to death with his bare hands.
Store. Come on, man.
What? Why the change in tone? Blank buddies aren't people.
Yeah, and even if they were, well, what did you think would happen? Kitten had some objections, but he ended up getting caught up in the moment just to a lesser extent. You could say that Marcus was caught up in it. But also, even if Piotr wasn't as sadistic, he still... there's a good chance he would have killed at least one of those two.
Yeah.
So, yeah, what did you think would happen when you got a bunch of vampires in a room and told them to eat each other?
It doesn't matter. Whatever this is, it's horrid.
Didn't you say you wanted this one to die first?
Payoff to the setup earlier, and, well, he has a point.
Isn't it a bit late to object now?
Another good point! Piotr's basically already killed them. Or at least they...
JR, can't help but notice the crowd go mild.
Am I good to collect my winnings now?
Well,
Guess for the experiment's sake.
Go ahead.
Thank you kindly.
And now... God, though, I do like the sheer horror that they put in with the vampire bites. Especially since they're very fitting for the Sabbat. Not anything seductive or sexy, just evil, predatory, vicious.
Perverse.
Yeah.
you are uncomfortable because the one dying seems so human. But I can assure you, he is no different from the creature eating him alive.
I mean, he wasn't as
All
bad.
vampires are destined to become monsters. Each one slain is who knows how many lives saved. That is why I do not hesitate to cheer and make sport of their death, and why you shouldn't either.
Yeah, though, Dor doesn't really seem to care that some vampires weren't embraced willingly. Even if they become monsters, there could at least be some consideration for the human they once were. Especially since they were, well, if they were forced to do it, then they became a monster against their will. But that doesn't seem, well, maybe Dor doesn't know it, or, I don't know. Maybe just characterization, probably, which is.
I don't know, Dad. It seems like it might be more complicated than that.
Son, I learned
And yeah, he's right. Well, boy's right, though.
many harsh lessons in my old mining days. This was one of them.
Now, this gets to my theory about vampires, at least a few. I think that a vampire did something horrible in Dor's mining days, which, well, resulted in Dor hating them. And for a while, I thought that what happened is the vampire killed Dor's wife, who was Boy's mother. Like that Dor potentially knew his wife from his mining days, or if not wife, girlfriend. And the vampire killed her, probably in some horrendously brutal way. Like, maybe it was a Zamisi who turned her into a chair or something. Or maybe Dor mercy killed her after a Zamisi turned her into a chair. That being said, I don't think this theory has as much support now. Boy chose the life of a vampire hunter, or at least to stay with Dor and his side of the family. It seems to indicate to me that Boy's mother, Dor's wife or girlfriend, or ex-wife at this point, is still alive. Either that, or she has relatives Boy can stay with. I don't think the theory is completely invalidated, but I think it's a lot less plausible now.
But you are right, boy. They are also afraid because they are British. Boy, national anthem. Next verse.
You'll take my life, but I'll take yours too. Living in America.
By the dawn's early light. Look, the national anthem, at least the first few lines, are not that difficult to remember. And now we can see that Piotr has taken on some of Ape's characteristics. Like, notice how his eyes are red like one of Ape's was earlier. This isn't just regeneration, it's probably him gaining some of Ape's stuff. The whole diablerie thing is a vampire eating another vampire's soul. When that happens, well, okay, there are a few things that can happen based on my knowledge of Vampire the Masquerade. One is that the soul is completely annihilated when it's absorbed by one. Another thing is that the soul, well, basically stays avoiding annihilate and then starts fighting with the other one for control of the body. This is why diablerie is pretty risky business, because if one vampire's soul is stronger than the other, you could end up being the one reduced to either, I don't know what happens to the soul of the vampire if they lose that struggle after diablerizing someone, but you could end up getting taken over. Now, the third thing, and this probably happens along with one, is that the vampire gets some traits of the vampire they diablerized. Both in terms of personality as well as physically, and we'll see that with Piotr in the next episode.
Thanks, Ape.
Oh, and he suplexes him, doesn't even give his corpse any dignity. Which is now deflated.
Vicious. And now, a second helping.
Order. Please.
You know, Ape Boy, I actually thought about sparing him.
And he still brutally tortured him to death.
I kinda liked him. But you, despite the vinculum, old man, I never liked you.
Yeah, like, not only is Shitbeard the most moral of those three, he also clearly hates being a vampire as opposed to Piotr, who embodies the Sabbat and their vampire supremacist ideology.
No! No!
Not even shown what he's doing it to him, but clearly horrifies Kitten.
Okay. So this was all horrifying.
And boy, D eating a ham.
Hey, kids! I got some rather tasty information out of that Kevin guy. He told me that Chapter House and Yarmouth had...
Foreshadowing. And now, this is the first time, even when he was held hostage by Kevin, that he wasn't like this. This is the first time we've seen D genuinely scared.
Adam, what are you doing?
Hello, Father. We were engaging in a marginally sadistic professional wrestling commentary.
What the fuck is that vampire doing?
And D has dropped all the silliness and mannerisms he has, and is now dead serious.
We made them meet each other to see what had happened.
You're letting them de-oblerize each other?
Yeah, I mean, what?
You stupid boy! Letting vampires de-oblerize...
And notice how D has forgotten to close the door.
each other in our cellar? You're going to have them?
Yeah, this recount is a bit of a establishment of just how fucked they are. Same thing with the cellar door smashing, considering how we heard that it basically can withstand forces of multiple tons.
Immediately break out.
The door.
Yeah.
What?
They're all realizing just how strong Piotr is now. He could pretty easily kill them all. And they forgot to close that door, so they don't even have it to defend them. Setting up for the next episode very nicely. Thank you for watching, everyone, and remember to like, comment, and subscribe.